keep a record of when we're seeing these particulates dumped into the air, and we're going to try to, create something that we can maybe create a court case with someday and get these people thrown in jail for what they're doing. And there's a lot of people that we've talked to, some people today who said they've looked into it, but they haven't looked into it much. And that's really depressing to hear, because when you have something being dumped into your air and you don't care enough to look into it, and you're worried about some whales. I care more about whales than I do myself, and that's a lot of people believe in overpopulation, but there's a lot of better ways we could be doing things. But at the same time, I mean, this stuff that's being sprayed in the air is going into the water too. It affects the whole ecosystem. There was actually a meeting of the Trilateral Commission where they said they could use environmental catastrophes to their advantage.
Just like terrorism, right?
Yeah, and they could use the scare of human-induced environmental catastrophes. And that's another thing I'd like to talk about, is the cameras that are springing up all over the county, and nobody really got asked. But we have enough money to install a security grid over the whole city that nobody got asked about. This is San Luis Obispo is a small town. There's no need for, they say it's for traffic control, but a lot of these intersections aren't even busy at all, and they're all at squeeze points. And there's actually a document you can read that says they are looking into hooking this all into a national network control grid. They just need the excuse to turn it on, and then they have, all access from one point. Brings us to there's a guy on Craigslist and paid, but he is getting paid because he is spending, he's first got an RSS feed hooked up. So as soon as anything is posted, he will start to flag it. So it'll take it down. So if you're trying to get information out about airplanes spraying the air, this guy will go there, spend his time trying to get rid of those posts so nobody can see it. I would understand on one hand if this guy thought I was wrong, but if you're listening to this show, guy, you need to find a new line of work before you get thrown in the clink. What to say about that? Because these people who are spreading disinformation, they're traitors. They're breaking the law. They need to be thrown in jail. We shouldn't have to be hiding our identities, making laws. Then they've lost the mandate of the people. Well, yeah, and the other thing is, who knows what else they might be adding to this stuff. Maybe it's some mood suppressant, who kind of just some sort of a mood stabilizer. I think the word's getting out. It's just it's up to people to look into it, because it's one of the scariest subjects I've ever dealt with. It makes me sick every day I think about it. And every time I see these trails in the sky, it's all I can think about, and I just don't want to do anything except for have it end. It's sickening. It's just sick that people could do this to each other. To be honest, I noticed chemtrails probably 3 years before I knew what they were, and I was looking at the sky and I saw these trails spreading out. I hadn't heard about them, but I was thinking, that is really amazing how many lines there are in the sky today. I was like, what is going on? And I thought, this is probably contrails, but this is really weird. Why wouldn't it be normal when the news isn't reporting on it, when the newspapers aren't mentioning it? Why, there's billions of people. You don't think you're the one who's going to be stumbling onto something like this? Because that's how it works. The government gets you to trust them, and then they slowly start doing things to you, and they don't tell you about it. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks big time. It's something I don't want to have to deal with. I want it to be over with. Whoever's listening to this, if they think that, we're full of crap, maybe you should do a search on Bohemian Grove, and that's totally, top secret. All of our politicians, Fortune 500 CEOs, people in media go there, and they worship Lucifer. It's called Molech. Go for a Google search right now on Bohemian Grove. Well, Bohemian Grove's the same place where the Manhattan Project was dreamt up.
So, really?
Yeah. And not only that, it's actually an illegal meeting because, is it the Logan Act? Or is it I think it's the Logan Act, which discourages any sort of private meetings between government people from different countries, media, anything like that. Not to mention the Brown Act. So it's totally illegal what they're doing, yet they're being protected with our own tax money from sheriff's deputies up in Northern California protecting these people doing these illegal meetings.
You know what, if you go up there to that area, the whole area is completely, it's like a colony of freaks up there.
I used to live up there.
That explains a lot.
It's weird. It's weird up there.
It was Dark Secrets Inside Bohemian Grove biology, where he actually goes in and exposes the Bohemian Grove for what it is, and it's a really creepy cult of our politicians getting together. I heard there was all sorts of child prostitutes bringing their children.
Yeah, they were in the
and
White House. They were in the Bush-Reagan White House. Child prostitutes, and it was in the mainstream news, but that was the Franklin cover-up.
Wow.
And the kids were MK Ultra brainwashed.
Wow.
To blackmail. They used them to blackmail politicians with sex. With pedophiles.
That's how the secret societies work. It said that George Bush did some things with his son in a ceremony in front of a lot of people. And basically, you've had this really terrible thing that's
then
happened
you're initiated.
to you, and you're initiated, and you're stuck. If anybody tells on you about this, your career is over. And if you say anything about everybody else, they're going to kill you.
Right. Any final words?
Just pay attention to what's happening in the sky. When you notice trails being left by airplanes that you can notice as soon as the airplane passes by, you can tell it's a thicker trail than a regular contrail. And a lot of the times when you see it, it'll leave a kind of a skipping dash mark in the sky. And that in itself is proof that something's going on that's not water vapor, because these little dots will then spread out, elongate, and bleed from themselves. It's not normal cloud behavior. It's not something that can happen unless there's particulates added. And it's something that we should all be very worried about, and we should be doing something about it.
Because the government obviously is not going to do anything.
No, the government is who is doing it. So until we get a legitimate government that's not run by a whole bunch of people worshiping Lucifer. No, well, and also if you remember, the media consolidation bill that Bill Clinton signed made it so both TV and a newspaper could be owned in the same city by the same company, the same person. And Clinton was also known for his drug smuggling. So basically, these people are setting up a system in which they can't be caught, in which they can easily manipulate public opinion to whatever they want. And basically, there's no way to catch them. They've made it legal. Well, it's a war on you, as Alex Jones likes to say. It's just we need to get more people out here with us. We need more people awareness, and we need to strengthen numbers.
Yeah.
And you're not a kook. You can look it up, and you can verify that the government's admitted they're doing it. So as soon as you read those documents,
you have to sift through all the layers of perception. It's like a house full of mirrors.
And there's a lot of the biggest thing is there's a lot of social stigma, and
that's generated.
It's generated by the it's generated by the culture. If you notice on television, they're always telling you how stupid you are. Yeah. So anyway, that's about it. And we're nice guys, non-violent people, and we'd like more people to show up and help us out fight chemtrails.
All right, thanks, bro.